This is Townsquare Sunday on 1420 WBSM, a place where people come together to talk about some of the good things happening in and around New Bedford. A place to share, a place on the radio for the people.
Come together right now over me.
And now, the moderator of Townsquare Sunday, 1420 WBSM's Jim Phillips.
And welcome to WBSM's weekly public affairs show. I'm Jim Phillips, your host for Townsquare Sunday, heard every week at this time. Substance abuse is our subject today. Substance abuse and substance use by adolescents and teenagers. Very upsetting to, well, regular folks who live in any community, certainly to any parent. It is everywhere. It doesn't matter what your ethnic background is, where you live, or how much money you make. It is a threat to every family. I think most people understand that now. Maybe 20 years ago they didn't understand that, but now the substance abuse problem and substance use by young people, it's everywhere. St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church in Marion and the Healthy Tri-Town Coalition are working together to give families as much information as possible on substance use by teens. They're holding a series of presentations over the next few months, actually 3 presentations, at least at this point,
yes.
And what parents can do to keep their kids safe. Joining me is Reverend Kathy Harper. She is from the St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church in Marion and also a member of the Healthy Tri-Town Coalition. First of all, Reverend Harper, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
First, tell us how this speaking series came about. And is it directed only to parents?
This particular series will be directed to parents of junior high and high school students. Last year there were several of our parishioners that were quite concerned about what was going on, and we were very quickly learning that it was not only just out there, it was right in our towns, right around the corner. And as the deacon in the church looked out into the congregation, I knew that there were people struggling with family members that were addicted or addicted themselves, and we were helping them through it. So, and our group, we gathered our group, we decided that we would want to do something to help our parish become aware of and educate them about the problem. And that's when last year we did a 4-part series, bringing speakers in. Dr. Ruth Potee, who is a renowned speaker and on brain development in adolescents, and that was quite successful. We did work with the Healthy Tri-Town Coalition doing that. I became a member of that. It's a wonderful organization that includes fire chiefs and police chiefs and teachers and principals. It's just a wonderful partnership, and St. Gabriel's is privileged to be a part of that. So this year we're co-sponsoring with the Healthy Tri-Town Coalition a parent series on adolescent substance use for the parents. It is free to the public, and our main speaker will be Shannon Mountain Ray. She is the clinical social worker at Boston Children's Hospital. She's the director of social work, and she's also doing a pilot program. She's the director of Integrated Substance Use Treatment Services, and that pilot program is at Wareham Pediatrics, and she will be speaking about that, and then I can tell you what each series is about.
Well, there is 3 that are planned in this particular
Yes.
series, 3 presentations, and they're 1 a month. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and so we'll move on from there. If people want to attend, you don't have to sign up or anything. It's open to the public.
Open to the public, and it's free. Yes.
All right. So people from Fairhaven or Cushnet or New Bedford.
Welcome.
Sure.
We'd love to.
Where is it going to be held?
At St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church, 124 Front Street in Marion.
So you mentioned one impressive speaker. There'll be different speakers at these events?
Shannon will be speaking for the first two, and then our last event will be a forum at Old Rochester Regional High School, and that will include, hopefully, we are still in the planning stages of getting our forum panel together, but District Attorney Timothy Cruz, we're hoping to have him be present, and also working on getting someone from the governor's task force also to be there. And we're hoping to get school principal, a police chief maybe, and so there will be other speakers that are local and can speak directly to this problem.
Reverend Harper, are you looking at drug abuse or drug use among young people, or is it opioid abuse that you're stressing here?
I think
maybe all of it?
I think it's all of it. This year we're really focusing on the teens and adolescents. Last year we sort of did the whole 9 yards, everybody, and how it would affect adults and children. And this one we really do want to focus on the adolescent brain, the development of the adolescent brain, and how these substances affect them.
You got there was a survey done in the Tri-Town area, which is, of course, Marion, Mattapoisett,
And
Rochester. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a survey done. Who did the survey, and what was the alarming bit of news that came back?
Well, I believe that it was, I want to say Kathy Downey, the Marion town nurse, I'm sure she was a part of the town wanting to do this youth risk assessment. And there were some alarming statistics that came out of that, of students experimenting. And we just want to get it out there about the risks of that, and especially with marijuana being legalized now and what that does to an adolescent brain. We just want we want to give information, what parents need to know as these things are escalating and more prevalent than ever.
Sure. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. My guest is Reverend Kathy Harper of St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church in Marion, and she and many others are organizing a series of presentations geared to parents about ways to detect, combat, frankly, save your kids from substance use and abuse. The coalition, you mentioned that earlier. How was, I know you joined the coalition after it already formed, but what's the history there? How did that come together?
I think that came together after this assessment was done, and then they did a survey, and out of that survey, they decided as the Tri-Town communities to get together, to partner together, get everyone in the same room at the same time, and think of ways that we can best, in compassionate ways, solve these issues that are in our towns.
I'm sure you being involved with the church, that this is having a discussion about this, having an open discussion, having people talk about their own experiences. Do you expect that will happen? A sharing of information?
Yes. In a comfortable environment, I hope as a deacon that when people do come to me, I can create that listening environment, listen to them, and understand in a compassionate, loving way that we care.
What other projects has the coalition been involved in? I suppose none. This has really been formed in the last couple of years. And it does take a while to kind of say, what do we want to do here? What are some of our topics? And you settle on the substance use and substance abuse issue, which, as we've mentioned, it's everywhere.
Especially this year, the coalition works on other issues that have that are prevalent in our community or that they see. We've split into groups, and I'm in that substance abuse, mental health. That group. There's another group on bullying, and they're just very aware and just partnering together to work on the different topics that come up within the communities together.
So do you see other speaking programs, these kinds of opportunities for people to share and think about and discuss beyond these three, or?
Oh, I think there's a lot going on in other towns and churches, New Bedford especially. Reverend David Lima leads many forums and discussion groups.
Okay.
Yes.
In the Tri-Town area that I was
Yes,
referring to.
and I know Wareham, they had an awareness day in August 31st when it was National Opioid Overdose Awareness Day, and that was a day when they started a drop-in center that's located at Church of the Good Shepherd in Wareham. So there's not only that drop-in center is for everyone. Someone that needs help can come there, or a family member who needs some resources. They also can go and get the help that they need.
What do you hope that people will come away with from these programs, these 3 sessions you have planned here? What do you, as someone who's in the community, as someone who sees people, some doing well, some perhaps not doing so well, you as you said earlier, you looked out at your congregation, and you know that there are people who are struggling out there.
Yes.
So what do you hope people will come away with from these programs?
I want them to come away knowing that there is a problem, because so many still think, well, what's out there, it doesn't affect me at all. But the member of the church, if that's how I can speak to, sitting right next to them is struggling. And I think we just need to be more aware of the other. And, of course, that's my job, to get out there and serve and take some action, that they will take some action. By attending these events, they can become aware and educated, and then want to be a part of solving the problem.
What are some of the dates and titles of these other discussions, these 2 other discussions you're going to have, and what will they encompass?
Well, the first one is next Thursday, March 15th, and that one is the adolescent substance use, the current trends, the developmental risks, what's going on out there. That's what we're pretty much going to talk about, vaping and all these things that are happening
Techniques.
that I'm going to learn about too.
Seem
I'm
to
going
be
to learn
floating
about
around,
also.
sure.
So that's next Thursday, March 15th, from 6:30 to 8 o'clock, and that is at St. Gabriel's. The next one is Sunday, April 22nd. That is going to be specifically about marijuana and the teen brain and what parents actually need to know, and when they're experimenting, what the risks are to the student or child.
The third one?
The last one is about prevention and community response, and that will be a forum at Old Rochester Regional High School in the auditorium, and that is Tuesday, May 1st at 6:30, and we are hoping to have, like I said, the several people in the local communities, and that is co-sponsored by the Healthy Tri-Town Coalition and St. Gabriel's. And I did want to mention I think it's the second one, we're going to have a hidden in plain sight mock teenage room where the parents can go around and they might be able to notice things in the teenage room. You just have no idea.
That's right.
You look at a Tootsie Roll and it's not really a Tootsie Roll.
They had, one of these rooms, I think it was the Galleria in Taunton. Yes. It's again, parents here are learning. That's what these forums are about. So parents can gain some instruction as to what's really going on out there. It's you're gonna sit back and say, wow.
Yeah, and you just don't know if you have an athlete that got a sprained ankle or a broken ankle and gets some sort of painkiller. You just don't know.
You know, there's some folks, I'm sure, in the Tri-Town area who say, well, this is really the job of, like, schools. They should be doing this. What do you say to those folks?
This is a community issue, and we're all one family, and we need to take care of each other.
And that is so very true. Okay, so let's talk about the when and the where for the next presentation to remind people when this is and where it's going to be held.
I invite everyone to come on Thursday, March 15th at 6:30. It'll be 6:30 to 8 o'clock. That will be talking about the current trends and the developmental risks in our school-age children. We invite all parents to come. We invite anybody in the community that would be interested in learning more. And Shannon Mountain Ray will be our speaker, and there probably will be other representatives there that I'm sure will be willing to answer any questions that people have.
And it's free, and it's open to the public. This
Yes.
is, I think, a fairly unique opportunity for people to meet their neighbors, but also to learn something very, that may have passed you by, or you're just not aware of some of these things that are happening. And yeah, I know it may not be your kid. My kid wouldn't do anything like that, but it may be your neighbor's kid, or it may be their friends that are doing something like that, and you should know about it. So good luck, Reverend Kathy Harper, with your series of presentations, along with the Healthy Tri-Town Coalition and St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church sponsoring these events.
Yes.
You wanted to add something?
I just wanted to say, if you needed more information, you can either call Healthy Tri-Town Coalition, that's 758-2772, or healthytritowncoalition.org, or St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church, and that's 748-1507, stgabrielsmarion.org.
Reverend Kathy Harper, St. Gabriel's Episcopal Church, thanks once again for coming in, and I hope you have filled the room.
Thank you very much. Appreciate this.